Hi, I'm Jack Wood from Planet Eclipse. I'm here introducing the R2 kit for the Eclipse Geo. Since the launch of the Eclipse Geo, back at the end of October 2008, we've been constantly striving to improve the basis of the gun. We've been taking feedback from key sources such as players, assembly staff and testing facilities, and also from our pro players that have been using the gun for the longest period of time. The R2 kit comprises three main components. We have a complete prop shaft assembly, a complete inline regulator piston, and a full set of screws. The screws are the most simple add-on part that we've released in the R2 kit. They basically comprise of a full set of grip screws and eye cover screws and the rear frame screw. These screws now come with these little blue patches applied to the threads. These little patches are basically nylon anti-vibration patches. These stop the screws coming loose during play. They're very effective yet very simple and a very easy and quick addition to the marker. The second item is the inline regulator piston. This is a key item to the operation of the gun as it affects the velocity, the consistency and ultimately the whole reliability of the gun. What we've done here is made some key changes to the way the seal is retained into the inline regulator tip. The change we've made is to add this small insert into the centre of the seal. Is hold the seal in place and prevent any air getting around the back of the seal, which can cause supercharging or inconsistent outputs from the inline regulator. As you will see, it's quite easy to tell the difference between the new pistons and the old pistons. The new pistons have this small brass stem around the central hole in the middle of the seal. And as you can see here with these two pistons, we've also been trying different varieties of seal material. The conclusion of this is that both materials worked equally well. Therefore, don't be surprised if you see pistons out there with both this clear material and this black material. Both work equally well and both are out there in circulation at the moment. Obviously the largest and most interesting part that we've made changes to is the prop shaft assembly. This has seen several key revisions, all designed to improve the performance of the gun. What we have going from front to back is a new shorter tip. What this does is allow the ball to sit further into the face of the bolt. As you'll see on some of this high-speed footage we're about to show you, the difference between the old tip and the new tip is quite clear. Looking at this old tip on this high-speed footage, you can see that as the ball enters the breech, it ping-pongs between the tip of the prop shaft and the ball detents. As it ping-pongs around, you'll see on the second shot that the ball actually comes to rest quite a distance from the actual tip of the prop shaft, and hence quite a distance from the bolt. Problem with this is as the ball lands at some distance away from the head of the bolt is allowed to accelerate to a much higher speed before it actually comes into contact with the ball. When shooting very fragile paint, this means that the bolt can actually crack the ball as it picks up the ball and starts to load it into the barrel. The further away the ball starts from the face of the bolt, the more likelihood it is that the bolt can actually crack the paintball prior to loading it into the barrel. This then obviously leads to a barrel break. What the new tip does is, if you look at this high-speed footage here, you'll see that the ball falls into the breech, and this time the ball actually gets deflected off the ball detents back towards the face of the bolt. With the shorter tip, it allows the ball to settle closer into the face of the bolt. Obviously we have to have a compromise here between keeping a straight stack, so we can't completely eliminate the anti-rollback tip, but we need to keep the ball positioned relatively close to the face of the bolt to try and eliminate any ball breakages by the bolt striking a fragile paintball. What you'll see is if you compare the old tip to the new tip is about 2 millimeters shorter at the end. This allows the ball to roll adequately into the face of the bolt and drastically reduce ball breakages when using fragile paint, particularly in cold conditions. The next change is a new bumper. Bumper O-ring has just been revised to a slightly larger diameter. This has helped reduce the impact of the bolt on the rear stroke and helps reduce the amount of wear and tear that the prop shaft flange sees here. Another modification to the tip piece is an increase in the robustness of the internal stem seen inside here through the VVC adjustment hole. This is just a minor change and has just been done to add a bit of reliability and robustness to this. Moving up to the back, one of the other changes that were made based on feedback from customers is we've changed the diameter of the O-ring to make it a larger diameter O-ring at the rear. We've also changed the dimensions for the internal groove. This groove has been increased in diameter to add more squash to this O-ring. What you'll see in the new prop shaft assembly is that even though it can still be screwed in by hand, it's much tighter. This has prevented the prop shaft from backing out during play. Finally, the last major change has been with the VVC screw. Some customers have already seen some of the modifications we've done with the VVC screw to prevent leakage and also to prevent the adjuster moving during play. With the new ones, we've increased the squeeze on the internal O-rings on the VVC screw even further, so it's a much tighter fit. This completely eliminates the leaks and also prevents it moving during play. In order to aid identification of the new prop shaft and the old prop shaft, we've made a very simple and clear indicator on the prop shaft. As you can see here on the tip, this new shaft assembly has two grooves just ahead of the main valve seal. These two grooves indicate that this is a new prop shaft assembly. If you take the prop shaft out of your gun and it has these two grooves on it, then the likelihood is you have the complete R2 kit already installed in your gun. Now for a bit of the good news and the bad news. The good news is that the R2 kit is completely free of charge to all people, and here's the bad news, who have registered their gun. The registration can be done online or it can be done by returning the warranty form that's included with the gun, but you'll only receive your kit if your gun has been registered. As far as registrations go, registrations have to be completed by the 31st of March 2009. That's the 31st of March 2009. If you've registered your Eclipse Geo by that date, you will receive a free R2 upgrade kit. Every Eclipse Geo that's shipping from Planet Eclipse US or Planet Eclipse UK as of January 2009 will have the R2 kit already fitted. This will be clearly distinguishable by a large R2 kit included or fitted sticker on the outside of the box. Obviously, some people are going to receive guns at the beginning of 2009 that do not need the R2 kit. If that's the case, we already have your serial number logged on our database that shows that the R2 kit has been fitted. If you're unsure, then please call us or contact us and we can clarify whether the kit is fitted in your gun, or look for the indicator on the prop shaft, as that's the quickest and easiest indication whether the R2 kit is fitted in your gun. People requesting an R2 kit that already have kits fitted won't be shipped an R2 kit.